Pumpkin Panic, a horror farming simulator where your main goal is to plant, water, and sell your crops. Prepare your boat and leave. But of course, you have to watch your step because one wrong move can make you lose hours and hours of progress. Speaking from experience. The game has two modes, normal and nightmare. In normal mode, you only have 4 monsters that you can encounter. The first one is the Shadow Pumpkin, taking the appearance of the player. This guy is located near your cabin. He will only appear after all of the 3 candles near your bed have gone out. Each of the candles have 20 seconds, which means you can only stay inside the cabin for 60 seconds max. This is especially bad for one of the other monsters I'm going to talk about. The second one is a Wendigo. The deer spawns randomly at your farm and usually appears after a few minutes of gameplay. This guy has 3 fixes: following, idle, and attack. And with that, let's move on to our next monster, Happy and Sad Clown. These two are found during the night. When you hear soft music at night, get close to it as soon as possible. Once the player has found the source music, they will find the Happy Clown, which will offer you a red balloon. After this, later during the night, you will hear the music box again, but this time, it's a Sad Clown. You can make him go away by giving him the red balloon. Also, fun fact, after update 1.2, the clown got a redesign. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Our next monster on the list is the Crawler. You will hear violin music, signaling its arrival, and after 15 seconds, he will spawn and begin chasing the player. The only way to counter him is for you to hide inside the cabin. After the first time he leaves, it will take a few seconds until he comes back for a second time before finally leaving the player. If the game sounds difficult already, then worry no more, since as of update 1.2, there are now pets you can collect. Puddles being the most easiest and most accessible one out of all of them. Puddles can be seen near the docks when starting your first playthrough. He will spawn after a few days of gameplay. Interacting with him will cause you to befriend him. This little guy increases the capacity of water the player can hold. The next pet we're going to cover is Henry. Henry can usually be found near the west side of the farm. Once you see him, will ask for a shiny coin. Providing him with one will cause you to befriend him. Whenever you have him equipped, he will give the player 1 coin per 10 seconds. Yeah, he's pretty useless. The game has a night and day cycle. The day lasts around for 8 minutes, while night lasts around for 4. Also, this guy has a chance to appear in wells, but don't worry, he's harmless. Once you have enough money from selling your crops, you can buy gears. These gears can be placed inside the broken machine inside the boat. Also, whenever you're planning to go to the boat, make sure to double check where the deer is, because earlier, as I said before, the deer has a following phase, and if you make it to the boat and he's near the entrance and you're planning on coming back to the land, this guarantees a game over. I'll just let this clip speak for itself. This part will be just gameplay, where I just tell you how I play the game. If you don't want to watch that, you can skip it this timestamp. If you're planning on traveling while it's night, it's better to take small steps. If
your fuel is running low, staying near the cabin door outside is better, since it kills two birds with one stone. For one, you can immediately have a safe space if a crawler or deer comes near. And this also doesn't activate the timer inside for the Shadow Man. So yeah, if you don't have any fuel, it's just better to just camp outside while you wait for daylight. Also, a neat thing that I've discovered while playing this game is that you can actually use a mouse wheel to have a better look on your surroundings. This is especially good when you're on the boat, since you can track easily where the deer is. Also, notice how I immediately went back to the house after finishing a generator? Well, this is because I want to play safe and not take any gamble for the crawler to spawn while I was repairing it. Not to mention, the house is really far away from the docks, so any mistakes can be really detrimental after making so much progress. And always remember to keep an eye on the deer. You might never know what happened. While the warning music is still playing, you can still do a lot of things before getting back into the cabin. But don't be cocky, since the crawler is really fast, so it's best to not get caught with your pants down. And with that, you've beaten the game. But wait! There's still a couple minutes left in the video, since we've only been covering normal mode, because nightmare mode is where the fun really begins.
Wake up. Quick. You have to see this. Something has appeared in the middle of the farm. And it doesn't look good. I think you should investigate it.
Oh, finally, I could see you up close. Did you really think you could fix your little boat and sail away? My little pet won't let you leave until you have completed the challenges I have prepared for you. I wish you luck. You are going to need it. And now,
This mode, no joke, took me 20 tries just to beat it, and those 20 attempts took around 6 to 30 minutes each. But you may be wondering, what changes during this time? Well, there's now Pumpkin Man in the middle of the farm. He will ask you to give him a coin, and after giving it to him, he will give you some series of tasks. These tasks include fishing, capturing ghost souls, harvesting a specific crop, and picking up stuff from the ground. Not being able to meet all the criteria for every task given prevent the player from leaving the boat. And to top it all off, there are now 2 more monsters added to the roster. Albino works similarly, if not exactly, to the Wendigo. The only difference is that it doesn't have a follow face. It will just mindlessly mind its own business, not bothering the player as much. But like the deer, it also becomes hostile once you get close enough. And yeah, this is not that interesting. And for our very last monster in Nightmare mode, Pet. Pet will spawn in the water, specifically near the docks. When you see bubbles forming, passing through it will trigger him and kill you. But there's a wind up animation for that, which means you can just bait out a slap and proceed to whatever you were doing. Even with low speed you can do this. Oh, and also the other monsters got buffed, specifically Crawler and the Shadow Pumpkin. The Shadow Pumpkin timer now decreases from 6 seconds to 30.
And for our second monster,
The crawler no longer plays its warning music. After reviewing my gameplay, I noticed that the crawler spawns after 2 minutes. This basically means you can set up a timer around 1 minute and 15 seconds to have your own warning music. But to also balance that out, they've added 2 pets, exclusively unlocked in Nightmare mode. The first one being Squeaky. Squeaky can be heard during the night. The best way to get him is to hug the wall and keep moving forward until you see him. You have to interact with him 5 times in order to befriend him. When you have him equipped, he will squeak when deers are nearby, and smoke will come off to indicate the deer's location. This pet is really good at night since you have limited vision, but for the day, I suggest a different one, Peanut. Peanut can be found running around your farm, and you have to be quick in order to catch her. When equipped, she will increase your speed and also reduce stamina recharge. And if stacked up with movement upgrades, you can basically just zoom around the entire farm and get back to safety in just a matter of few seconds. Peanut is one of the most best pet and quite literally an S tier pick. Her passive ability is really good and I really recommend using her over the other pets.
and that's basically it. If you made it this far into the video without you hating me, then consider dropping a like. This is my first ever proper video with commentary plus my doodles, and I hope this gets received well, and not get called out cringe. Anyways, before I end this video, here's a montage of me messing up my lines over and over again.
When you have him equipped, when you have him equipped, what he does is when you have him equipped, he will squeak. When you have him equipped, he will squeak when nearby deers are. When you have him equipped, what he does is when you have him equipped, what he does is when you have him equipped, he squeaks when you have him equipped, when you have him equipped, he will squeak when deers are nearby. When you have him equipped, he will squeak when deers are nearby, and the smoke will appear. And when you have him equipped, he will squeak when you have him equipped, he will fuck. After reviewing the gameplay, I noticed that crawler spawns after reviewing my gameplay, I noticed that the crawler spawns after every 20 seconds. I'm gonna kill myself.